guys, we're back again. This one's been highly requested. I've been seeing the comments and you've been asking us to learn the history of HBCU. So we've gone up and done our research and we are reacting to why are historically black colleges important. What you got to say, Abs?
I actually did some research. Not gonna lie to you. One thing I know, I don't know too much, obviously. The one thing that I know is this HBCU is quite diverse. A lot of people think it's just black people, but from my research, it seems like it's quite diverse. Apparently, they used to recruit Jewish professors to like teach, like in some of those universities. And it started in the 19th century, bro. So there's lots of history with HBCU. That's a few things I obviously know. Obviously we're gonna learn about learn a lot more about HBCU. But yeah, Mike, you ready? So we
I'm
can.
ready, bro. Let's
Alright,
get in it.
let's go.
Because it's had to be.
Wait, let me take that all the way back.
This is one of the roads less traveled on the path to higher education, and that's because it's had to be.
In this country, we have been in bondage longer than we have been free.
Southern University, like the other 100 historically black colleges and universities in the U.S., was born out of necessity. HBCUs like this one were created to serve the African American community.
And these institutions across America were built to teach the freed children of slaves.
From the time that they were founded, HBCUs were dedicated to helping these students succeed.
Combined, HBCUs have more than 1 million students enrolled. But in an integrated educational system, what place do they have?
Other institutions don't have to justify their existence in the same way on a day-to-day basis that HBCUs have to.
We should be in a position that everyone immediately sees our benefit and not ask us why.
They're dressed really nice, man.
Oh, sorry.
They were dressing really nice back in the 1800s, bro. You see them fits?
This man was smart. I feel like I don't know. Drip wise, we've gone backwards, bro. I swear down. I feel like our swag is just. I don't know what's going on there.
What, you think everyone should be wearing suits to university? Yeah?
Yes, bro. Fam, you look smart. You look professional. You look intelligent.
I would not want to wear a suit to uni, but okay.
But can you not say that you look way smarter though? Like
I really love wearing suits, bro. When you wear suits for a wedding, you feel like the freshest man ever.
You look more presentable.
The best I've ever felt in my life is when I'm going to a wedding or interview and I'm wearing a suit, bro. It feels good.
But you just said you don't like wearing suits.
I wouldn't want to wear it every day though. That's a drag.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's one thing that stood out for me with these HBCU universities, especially the bands, is the outfits. These guys are very smart, well dressed, looking professional. It's good. Before I resume this video, I just want to say something real quick. It's the fact that the media does not focus on the positives when it comes to black people, right, Mike? Like they always like to portray black people, especially African Americans, as like thugs, as like gangsters, just menace to society, man. They don't focus on the good things. They cherry pick, the bad things and put it into the media, man. Why don't they talk about stuff like this? This is positive stuff.
The history.
Hey fam, I'm Imayan, this is AJ Plus, and this Sunday we've traveled to an HBCU to talk about their history, their relevancy, and what's next for these educational institutions. Today, I'm in the middle of the more than 6,000 students on Southern University's campus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the vast majority of them
Baton
are
Rouge.
Black. It's a scene that used to be unimaginable because access to higher education was virtually non-existent for black people in the U.S. before historically black colleges and universities, also known as HBCUs. Congress officially defines an HBCU as a school established before 1964 whose principal mission was and is the education of black Americans. And unlike what Education Secretary Betsy DeVos has said, these schools didn't start as pioneers for school choice. Let's be clear, there was no choice. HBCUs became prevalent after the Civil War, and they were dedicated to meeting the needs of the newly freed African American population. Southern University was one of those schools, and the nation's first black governor, PBS Pinchback, founded it in 1880. Like the
Okay.
majority of HBCUs, Southern University is located in the southeastern United States. Why is this your favorite spot on campus?
It's so peaceful. Like, look at the waters. The waters are so calm and so beautiful.
It wasn't the location that drew 18-year-old Nakira Dixon to choose this HBCU.
I feel like I'm here and I fit in here. It doesn't make me feel so alone while I'm here.
I got a
Dixon
question.
was a star
Yeah,
student in
yeah,
her
go on,
high
Mike.
school.
Yeah, go on.
Would you prefer to go to a university full of just blacks, or would you like to go to a university that's diverse and has everything?
I think it's better to go to a university that's more diverse, bro. Because you know, when you go to a university that's more diverse, you're gonna have access to different perspectives.
Different cultures.
Different cultures, bro. So I think that's probably the limitation with HBCU. Is the fact that you're just gonna be around black people, bro.
I'll give you an example. So, you know where I live? I live in a place called Thamesmead.
Yeah, yeah.
If I have any British people watching, I live in Woolwich. It's a predominantly black place. It's a lot of Nigerians. So I started running. I started doing athletics at 14 years old. And I ran through a county called Kent, which is a predominantly white county.
Okay.
And then I started mixing with white people, and they were making friends with them. And it was actually great to open my eyes to different cultures and to vibes.
Yeah.
And they were very welcoming, luckily. Some places are not welcoming. So yeah, man, it was good to be diverse. So you don't always want to be in one box. You want to branch out and understand different cultures and see what it's like on the other side.
Facts. And also another thing is, this is gonna be a little bit controversial, but I feel like maybe it could create a bit of division. I don't know, right? Because if you're just saying, you know, it's just black people, you know, it's specifically black and no whites are allowed.
It's true.
I don't know, you know, but at the same time, I do understand why it's created, because black people have been through a lot, bro.
Yeah.
They have been discriminated against. They've been treated so badly.
We're gonna see in this video probably.
You know, so you know, yeah.
She had the highest SAT score in her class, and she ranked
Big
number
up you.
7. She already had financial aid packages from 2 schools and was looking at attending the predominantly white University of Alabama. But her plans changed after she visited its campus. An HBCU and Southern University was not your first choice. What was your first choice?
My first choice was the University of Alabama.
And why aren't you at the University of Alabama? Why aren't we there having this conversation?
When I actually went there on the campus, I felt nothing. When I actually visited Southern's campus, it was like, this could be not just my school, but this is my home. And that was the
Okay, but the thing is, though, like, I understand where she's coming from. It felt like home. But, like, I feel like sometimes it's good to come out of your comfort zone. I just feel like maybe because it's mostly white, she felt uncomfortable. But, you know, that could be a good thing as well, because if you're able to, like, make friends with white people, you know, you're mixing with different cultures and you're learning more. You know, it's more easy to be around black people because that's
if they're being racist to her or discriminating her, then I understand.
Yeah.
But she didn't start yet, so she wouldn't know yet. But I understand, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's too much of a culture shock to do that. So I respect her decision, man.
Yeah.
determining factor.
For Nakira, choosing an HBCU meant surrounding herself with what she defines as black excellence.
When you're at an HBCU and it's full of black excellence and it's black pride and everything else, it's almost like you're not just one person who's done it, it's a group of people who are doing it.
And this atmosphere is what Nakira was talking about. And research shows it has a very real impact on students. Some call it the HBCU effect. Black HBCU graduates are twice as likely to be satisfied in their work, have greater community involvement, and they even vote more frequently, according to Brian Bridges of the United Negro College Fund.
HBCUs provide support to the students who need it the most, even though they have the least amount of resources to help those students succeed.
The vast majority of HBCU enrollees are low-income students, and at some schools they make up nearly the entire student body.
Wow.
Bridges says that these schools are the largest provider of scholarships to minority students. In 2014, 70% of all HBCU undergraduates receive financially need-based Pell Grants, and the price tag for HBCUs are 27% lower than their non-HBCU counterparts.
Oh, wow.
And yet in 2012, HBCU bachelor degree recipients borrow nearly twice the amount as their non-HBCU peers. Basically, HBCU students are taking out much more debt to attend less expensive schools than other students. But that hasn't limited the success of HBCUs. Even though they disproportionately enroll low-income, first-generation, and academically unprepared students, HBCUs are unique in their ability to graduate low-income kids. And that's why some have anxiety about these schools' ongoing financial struggles. Historically, HBCUs have been underfunded. Add that to the fact that the size of their endowments is 1/8 the size of historically white colleges and universities. For example, Southern University has
See, this is an example of because a lot of white people don't believe that there's white privilege, but it's a real thing in my opinion. You know,
Of course.
a lot of them don't admit it, but it's happening, bro. It's happening. White privilege is a thing that that exists. Even in the UK, Mike, do you get that feeling?
Of course.
That white people are treated a bit differently.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, stereotypes. Yeah,
Discrimination.
yep, for sure. Sure.
For example, Southern University has 13 million in endowments. Compare that with the 500 million LSU has, a predominantly white university just 11 miles away. Louisiana used to give Southern 60% of the school's funding, and now that's dropped to 20% because the state spent the last decade slashing funding to higher education. Southern University Vice Chancellor Michael Stubblefield suggests these schools need to target a wider audience and evolve their business plans.
I believe the HBCUs not necessarily should just focus on African Americans. If we're saying we're about global excellence, that means we're about global engagement. Because at the end of the day, if we can define ourselves not just about being about one particular population, I think we win.
Facts.
HBCUs aren't just competing against one another for black students, they're also competing against predominantly white institutions, or PWIs. Southern University has seen a decrease in enrollment. Meanwhile, LSU's black enrollment rate has increased from nearly 9% in 2007 to almost 12% in the 2015-2016 school year.
Wow.
So if HBCUs like Southern University are going to succeed, some officials say they need a better marketing plan. And all you have to do to understand what they mean is look around. LSU paraphernalia is prominently displayed everywhere. Southern University, not so much.
One of the things we can say, at least on the marketing side, we have to market those programs that we believe can attract people where they know they can have a job at the end of the day.
So in such a competitive market for
Marketing
students,
is very important.
what is
Facts.
the future of
Facts. That's what I think those white universities are doing better. I think maybe they need to diversify a little bit more, man. Bring in people from other cultures, maybe like Asians. Maybe be more open to like
Not just white, bro. It could be anything. Yeah, right.
yeah. Just diversify a little bit more.
This is a very impactful video. I'm starting to learn a lot, which is really good.
Yeah.
So in such a competitive market for students, what is the future of HBCUs?
We just spent all day telling you about HBCUs, their history, their legacy, what's next. Let us know what you want us to cover next, what you think of HBCUs, and watch me dance out of this frame. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Let's go.
Let's go.
But one thing I gotta say, the one thing that no university can beat the HBC universities in is the bands.
Marching bands,
The
man.
bands, fam.
Bands are
They are
crazy. And lit.
undefeated. So imagine like they bring in Asians and people from other races to be part of the bands. It would be so much more interesting, though, right? Like it's still cool, like with the just blacks, but like But yeah, Mike, what's your thoughts? Your overall thoughts?
I really enjoyed the video. Opened my eyes on like getting into the difference between LSU and Southern County or Southern, what it was called, I forgot the name. But yeah, and like the percentage of blacks going up for LSU was very intriguing to me. But yeah, man.
Why do
I'm happy
you think that is though? Why do you think there's
Because
more black people going to LSU?
there's probably more people doing well, and
Or why?
and the
Why are people doing well in those universities?
families. No, look, like families are
Mm.
a lot more black families are doing well, and a lot of more black young kids are having higher aspirations and wanting more for themselves and wanting to go to the top uni. So they're studying and they're putting a pathway for themselves other than just getting a scholarship for these sports.
Yeah.
They're putting in the groundwork, getting great grades to go to these top universities. So that's why it's going up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
But
What
yeah,
have you got for me, bro?
I just want to pick out one interesting thing that was said in the video is the fact that even though these HBCU universities are cheaper on paper compared to like other universities, the thing is though, students that go to those universities take more loans or in more debt.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, like, but I don't know why. Why is that?
No, because they need to take more loan because white families got more wealth so that they can pay for some of their education. A lot of black families can't pay for it, so they have to take a high loan. That's just natural.
Yeah.
If your parents are on a high income, why are you gonna put your son or daughter in debt when you have the money to pay at least half or 75% of their education? So that's why they're taking high loans. Does it make sense to you?
It makes sense, but let me know in the comments if you guys agree with what he said. If you guys like the reaction, man, make sure to smash this like button. Let
Please
us
do.
know your thoughts in the comments. We really appreciate the comments, good or bad. We don't mind. Just say anything. You know, if there's anything out there that you think we can improve upon, let us know in the comments. You know, we're very open to like different perspectives. But yeah, that's it.